All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a message regarding the seed and the seed, spirit and flesh, light and darkness. I'm coming a way in which many of you all have not, uh, how would I say it, enter therein. And this is a way that's going to bring into you the twos, showing you that the kingdom had set it up based on twos. So the topic yesterday was marriage and divorce in the flesh, and marriage and divorce in the spirit. And what I'm saying to you all is this: you can take it, what take what Sister Deborah said, and you can take it at the level of the flesh, which 99.9 will. Or you can take it, what she's saying, in the spirit, and 1% will. Right? Why? This is the way the Father orchestrated it from the kingdom. This is the way that He said it shall be, it shall go. And then at the end of it, He calls it a narrow gate, and very few, see what I'm saying, shall go therein. Very few shall go into the gate that leads to life. And that gate that leads to life leads you to the things which uh, 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 reside in the realm of the Father. Okay, and then you have those that goes through the broad gate, and He said the broad gate, there shall be many. The multitude should go into the broad gate, and many shall go therein. So He pretty much set the beginning to the end the way that He knew already from the kingdom how things would pan out from the beginning to the end. So it's not something Sister Deborah is making up and just deciding to throw out there to see who could catch the fish itself. But no, Sister Deborah is speaking in a realm of spirit and truth, because we in the midnight hour, and the Father says in the end days there will be knowledge increased, and I myself can only see that knowledge as the light. That's the only thing I could think of. I could not see the knowledge shall be increased, shall be the elites and the world system increasing in their knowledge, and then His knowledge is just dead and buried and gone. No, but that's the mindset of people. They take to the knowledge of darkness and hang firm, hang tight to the knowledge of darkness, but the knowledge of spirit they hang not to. So this is what many people battle with, because it's more comfortable for the flesh. It's more accepting in the flesh. It's also oh, I feel good in the flesh. In the spirit, it's the same way when you are born of the spirit. So this topic is going to cover the serpent seed and the spiritual seed. It's going to cover he that is born of the flesh and he that is born of the spirit. It's going to cover the light, and it's going to cover the darkness. So you can understand in everything you try your best to measure here on the earth, you can allow it to be measured by twos. And then knowing that it's two, really it's a blessing. So you'll know which lane, the two lanes, are actually walking in. And if you walk your whole life in one lane, know that that's the eternal destiny. Okay. If you walk your life in this other lane, then you know that that's eternal destiny as well. One is to the lake of fire, and the other one is to the Lamb Book of Life, which is the kingdom of heaven with the Father. So a lot of us, when you sit back and you think, a lot of people are standing back playing a game. That's how I see it too, and that's when I feel I address the situation in based on what I'm seeing in the natural. Father, they playing a lot of games, and they think everybody else is going to be here to play the games with them, to make them feel like the game is worth being played because so many people playing it. Mm-mm. Um, I will say that to understand things that's in the flesh and in the darkness and the seed of the serpent, and to understand that which is the seed of the woman, which is the light, and the spirit is totally different. You can't even compare them, but you can compare them. You cannot compare them. You can measure your life in the way that you're living based on these two. You can pretty much tell where your eternal destiny. You really can. Even though people would run from it, they wouldn't want to look at it at face value. They would run from it because they don't want to have to battle with that on this side. They figured, okay, when we'll just cross whatever bridge Yah has for us, we'll cross it when we get there. But yet still calling for him on this side, but just taking the chance of saying and feeling and being content when we will cross that bridge when we get to it. But 99.9 can actually tell where their eternal destiny is going to be. If you are a person that knows yourself and knows yourself well, how do you walk? In your natural body. Because your natural body is going to play the role of which way your spiritual man is, which direction it's going to head, the lake of fire or eternal life in the kingdom. Your flesh informs you, lets you know. Okay, so and it's not a shame. The flesh is not ashamed to just let you know that, hey, I'm living this way. I'm going this route. I'm doing this, because my destiny is back to the ground. I don't care what your destiny is in the spirit, because I'm not concerned about your spirit. I'm concerned about ruling this living you have, this one living, the way that I want to in the flesh, and wherever the spirit go to, let it go. But the flesh has an issue with your spirit. And that issue is, I'm not going to let you rule me. Your flesh is telling your spirit, I'm not going to let you rule me. I'm not going to let you lead me, guide me, show me nothing, teach me nothing. I'm going to rule it. So this is why Sister Deborah says that you yourself should know where your eternal destiny is and shall be, just based on how you are conducting yourself in your own flesh. So today is about the seed of the serpent versus the seed of the woman. It's not a female, it's spirit. Okay. we're going to speak on he that is born of the flesh or he that is born of the spirit. He that lives in darkness or he that lives in the light. See, as I said before, we're living on twos, not ones, not one. We're living on twos. And even you yourself is consist of two, flesh and spirit. You see what I'm saying? Everything is you have to measure it based on twos. And you can find a lot of things out by that way, understanding, okay, he created it in the kingdom in twos. Yes, he did. No in between, twos. Okay. So I first and foremost like to start with the Gospel of John, chapter 3, and verse 6 through 8. The Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 6 through 8. In verse 6, it reads, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the spirit is spirit. What is it? One might think it's saying we're all born, okay? We're all born flesh. That's not what Yeshua is speaking of. He's not speaking of flesh as in uh, your outer being, okay? I'm going to break it down to you. And that's why I say to you all that it is so important to have the spirit of the Most High Yah living in you so he can teach you what even Yeshua is saying. Whatever is in this book, it needs to be dissected by the Ruach, the true teacher. And I'm going to start with the Gospel of John, chapter 3, and verse 6. That which is born of flesh is flesh. He called born flesh is flesh. And he also called and of the spirit, no, and that which is born of spirit is spirit. He's not talking about you born out of your mother's womb, you're born of the flesh or you're born of the spirit. Many people will think that that's what he's saying. No, he's not. He's telling you right now what your spirit come here, okay, to serve. Okay? What is it that your spirit come here to do? What do you mean, Deborah? Yah assigned it. What is it that you come here to do? That's why he called the flesh born of, and he called the spirit born of. So he's letting you know when you come down here, you are already born of. See, when Sister Deborah just said to you, you should know who really you are and who you really serve. Because either you are born of the flesh or you born of the spirit. Born is meaning from the kingdom you come down in the spirit to serve either the flesh or to serve the spirit. Who come down to serve the flesh or the spirit? Your spirit. That's why your flesh is your worstest enemy. Because it don't want to give dominion to your spirit. But it needs to. It must give that dominion to your spirit. You know how they say women have to submit to a man? This is why Sister Deborah is totally against woman submitting to a man, because you have to submit to his flesh. You see, when here in Gospel of John, chapter 3 and verse 6, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, that which is born of the spirit is spirit. You got to know which one of those are you born. Are you born to serve, to let your flesh rule, or are you born to let your spirit rule? The way the Father orchestrated us is that he desire our spirit to have dominion over our flesh. Why? Because that's the only place that he is willing to abide in us, is in our spirit. So if our flesh is born to take over our spirit, okay, then therefore our spirit is predestined to the lake of hell, because our flesh is ruling over our spirit. That's where the born is. He's letting you know, when you are born of the flesh is flesh, or born of the spirit is spirit. Both is born. What are they born to? A direction of living and life in the spirit. That is exactly what it is. So when you heard me say, you should know already where your eternal destiny is at. If your flesh is ruling, then therefore your flesh is in full control of your spirit, and you are born of the flesh. But when your flesh is unsubmitted to your spirit, then you are born of the spirit. It's so simple. So simple. This is why Sister Deborah say to you all, you should know really where you are heading. That no man could judge you. No man can say where you're going to end up. You should be able to say that yourself. So, in the Gospel of John, chapter 3, in verse 6, it says, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, that which is born of the spirit is spirit. Verse 7, marvel not that I say unto thee, ye must be born again. Ye must be born again. How can you be born of again? That was something that they asked him. Do we go back in our mother's womb? No, no. Yeshua came to bring you back to where you were before you came. That's how you're born again. To bring you back where you headed from. You came here from. Why? Because what has happened is we get down here born of the flesh and born of the spirit. And he that gets down here that is born of the spirit has gotten off the wrong how would I say, the wrong lane. Why? Because he saw the lane that the flesh was in and desired to allow the flesh to lead and guide. So that's why the Father had the ram in the bush. When did he put the ram in the bush, Deborah? Before the foundation of the world was the lamb slaughtered. Because he knew minds that are born of the spirit, they have gotten detached to the flesh. I need my sacrifice to redeem them back. And that's the purpose of being born again. Now, 99, I ain't gonna say 99, the majority is still gonna allow their flesh Even after Yeshua HaMashiach has came onto the earth to redeem those that came down as spirit on spirit, he has to redeem them back. That's the whole purpose. The whole purpose when your eyes are open to the light. Well, what do you mean by that, Deborah? Because you got to understand, if Yeshua's whole purpose was to come to die for all of our sin, what what benefit is that when after he died, everybody had sin afterwards? You see, everybody had sin afterwards. So he comes to shed his blood, and within minutes, sin is back at the same level it was before he died. So it had to been something deeper. And I will say that earlier this morning when I was doing a reading and study, and I realized that there was so much stuff that has been taken out of uh, um, the spiritual purpose, to where I can kind of see how the level of mindset in which we are seeing today, now it makes sense, because I was revealed from the Most High this morning all this way back in Genesis chapter 2. And I was like, Father, I didn't know that. I said, Deborah, that's why knowledge is increasing. It's not increasing so that people can wake up. No, that's not why he's letting his knowledge increase. Because the sacrifice to redeem he redeemed them back to the Father. That's it. It's over. They got their ticket already. What you mean, Deborah? Christ redeeming them, stepped into place as their savior back to the Father. They in there already, even though they might be on earth. They in there already. That's the purpose of the lamb being slaughtered before the foundation of the world. So when the lamb get to the earth and complete the mission, it'll redeem it back to the beginning and how he created it. And there he said, I will hold you blameless. Why? Because the sacrifice had already, Yeshua Hamashiach had already paid the price. He had already redeemed us back. Those who got off. That's going back to this study again. Everybody ain't everybody. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to start with John, the Gospel of John, chapter 3 and verse 6. It says, marvel not that I say unto thee, ye must be born again. Born again is the part that Yeshua HaMashiach come to redeem back, to bring you back to where you were born, which was spirit upon spirit. He did not come to redeem flesh. Born of the flesh is of the flesh. That's not who he's come to redeem. Only he that got off and went to another road, and then the lamb that was slaughtered before the foundation, because y'all knew that those that are born of the Spirit will and shall get off the righteous path. And this is the true purpose for the lamb being slaughtered, to redeem those back to the bosom of the Father. Why must the Messiah redeem them back and shed the blood and bring them back? How much? Why? Because they are already written in the Lamb book of life. They can't go to the lake of hell, you people. That's why. That's why. They can't go to the lake of hell. They are already written in the Lamb book of life. So that's the purpose of him coming, to redeem them back to the bosom of the Father, because in the book they are written in his Lamb book of life. Okay. So then verse 8 says, the wind bloweth where it listened, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but can it not tell hence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is every one that is born of the Spirit. So is every one that is born of the Spirit. Now let's read that again, because it almost like saying they don't know. Let me see if Yeshua saying they don't know, or let's see. Now, verse 8, the Gospel of John, chapter 3 and verse 8. The wind bloweth whither it listeth, and thou hearest and sound thereof. So we can hear it, the sound of the wind, but can it not tell hence it come or whether it goes. Okay, so we know it's present in us. We know that because we hear it, the sound, but we just don't know and hence it come from or whether it go. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. The sound we can hear, we can hear the sound of the wind that bloweth, but we cannot tell hence it come. Okay, got it. We don't know how we are entitled to the Spirit. That's what it said. We're not aware of the Spirit, being born of the Spirit, to the point where we are entitled to be born of the Spirit. Even though we can hear it, the sound in which the wind goeth, but we don't know from where it come from, or hence that it or hence so even everyone that it is born of the Spirit, that or where it goeth. So we don't know where it come from and where it goeth, but we can hear it. We can hear the sound. In a sense, he said, he that heareth my voice. You see what I'm saying? See, and he's saying here in this, what Yeshua is saying makes a whole bunch of sense, because it's like saying that you could hear it, you could hear the wind, you can listen, and you can hear the wind and the sound, but you don't know where it's coming from or where it's going. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, but it's something in it that you could hear it. And that's what the Father says, he that heareth, he that has an ear, let him hear it. So we can hear it. We can hear Yah speaking to us. Now we don't know. We can't say for sure. Like Sister Deborah said at the beginning, you should know which direction you're going in. Okay? But it's telling us based on us being able to hear. Okay? When he said, he that has an ear, let him hear. Those that heareth me, knoweth me. So we got a connection with the Most High Yah, because we can hear it him. We have the ear to hear him, but we don't know. So if everyone that is born of the Spirit, oh no, we're not going to know everybody that's born of the Spirit. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit, but we don't know where we go with. But we know we can hear the voice of the Most High Yah. Let's put it like that. Okay, but we know from hence the wind. We hear it, we know where it's come, we know not where hence it cometh, nor whether it goes. So we don't know where we come from, and we don't know where we're going, but we hear it, the voice of the Most High Yah, because he speaketh unto us. Okay, and that is for those who what are born of the Spirit. They can hear it, but they don't know, because no one has entered into the kingdom. No one has gone there to come back to tell us about they about the kingdom outside of Yeshua HaMashiach. But he's saying here, as if we're gonna hear the wind, giving us the example of the wind and those that are born of the Spirit. The example in many of his the verses in which he has said also, he that has an ear, let him hear. He that has an ear, let him hear. He that hears the voice knoweth the Father, and the Father knoweth those that hear his voice. So we know that hearing it gives us some connection to the Father. This way also says it says, but we so everyone that is born of the Spirit, we might not know from which we come from, neither whether we go, but we have heard Yah in us speak to us. That's that ear that hear it. Okay. So now we have to understand, like the verse, the Gospel of John in chapter 6. It says that which is born of the flesh is of the flesh, is flesh. That which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Keep in mind now, it's letting you know the word born. That means you come down here that way. Okay, isn't that deep? That if you are born of the flesh, you are of the flesh. And if you are born of the Spirit, you are of the Spirit. It's because it's letting you know that heavens already know who's going to let their flesh have dominion. Those that are born of the Spirit is going to live their life out, not from beginning to the end, even though they're born of the Spirit, but they're going to be born again through Christ. You see what I'm saying? To bring them back where they were born at first. So he's bringing them back. He's redeeming them back. He's adopting them back to the Father. Okay? So if you're born of the Spirit, you are not like he that is born of the flesh or she that is born of the flesh, because they walk after the ways of their flesh. He that's born of the Spirit walks after the way of the Spirit. Why? Because their spirit is not letting their flesh have dominion. But he that is born of the flesh, their flesh have dominion over their spirit. And why you say that, Deborah? Because the only thing gonna stand before the Father is our spirit. And the spirit is gonna have to pay the penalty of the flesh. Why? Because he came when he was born, it was born to follow the flesh of its own self. And who is the flesh? Your worst enemy. But he that is born of the Spirit, he was born to follow the Spirit. Okay. Now, let's go to Galatians. Galatians chapter 5. Hello, everyone in the live chat. It's good to see you. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. We're dealing with the flesh and the spirit. We're dealing with the seed and the seed. We're dealing with light and darkness. What people don't understand, they take sides. There's only two sides. In this side is the spiritual seed, the spirit, and the light. On this side is the serpent seed, the flesh, and darkness. See, they split up. One got one side, one on the left, and one on the right. Okay, it's split up. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16 through 19. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16 through 19. And it reads in verse 16, render the time, because the days are evil. Okay, render the time, because the days are evil. Verse 17, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of Yah is. The will of Yah is. And he asking you to do what? Be wise, but overpower what is greater than unwise. It says, no, it says, be ye not unwise. And what is powerful is understanding. That's why he said, all you're getting, get understanding. Do you know two people can have a disagreement, a total disagreement, but understanding? Oh, guess what? It'll open the eyes of the both. It'll give both of them light. Understanding is so powerful, y'all. It can walk into any darkness at any time and come out still with the light. Because understanding is like unto light. When he said, in all your getting, get understanding, he's letting you know, get my spirit, because I hold all understanding. A lot of people don't grip that, nor do they care for that, nor do they even think that understanding is that powerful. Yes, but you got two understanding. You got the understanding in the flesh, and you got the understanding in the spirit. You see, you got the understanding in the flesh, and you got the understanding in the spirit. When it's the understanding in the spirit, it is the understanding that he say, in all your getting, get understanding. And then in Proverbs 16, chapter 16, verse 2, he said, in a man's eyes, his ways in a man's eyes is clean in his own eyes. He's speaking of his flesh. You see what I'm saying? So right there, it's a different, and his ways are clean. That means in him, he is all understanding. Because my ways are clean. And then it says, but Yah measures the spirits. That's Proverbs 16 and verse 2. In a man's eyes, his ways are all clean, but Yah measures the spirits with an S, letting you know it's no way, male nor female, young nor old, that their ways is so clean, but only in their own eyes it is. Okay, so in Galatians chapter 5, verse 16, and it says, render the time because the days are evil. Verse 17, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord, I say Yah, is. Then you go for verse 18. And be not drunk with wine, wherein it wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. Verse 18, be not drunk with wine, wherein it is seed, but be filled with the Spirit. Excess wine is just not going to get it. But be filled with the Spirit. Be not drunk with wine. Can you be drunk with wine? I don't know. I don't drink it, but I'm wondering. I guess you can. Mm. I thought that was like something like juice or a lot of grapes, but then again, they put stuff in it too, though. I guess it is. I guess it still have what any other drink has in it. I don't know, but be filled with the Spirit. Okay, verse 19. Speaking to yourself in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, sing and make melody in your heart to the Lord, which is to Yah. Okay, so here it's also speaking of the Spirit. Be filled with the Spirit, and then it's asks you in 19 to speak to yourselves. Speak to yourselves in psalms. Ain't that's what David did? And hymns and spiritual songs. Sing, you guys, and make melody in your heart to who? The Most High Yah. But he asks us not to be drunken with wine, wherein is excess. I think that's how you says. So, don't be drunken with wine. But he's letting you know, but be filled with the Spirit. And if you filled with the Spirit, guess what? I'm going to tell you something. You ain't going to be caught up in no wine, period. Honestly, y'all. Okay? So let's go to Galatians chapter 6 and verse 8. So here let's put in Galatians chapter. No, you know what? I was not there, y'all. And did anybody tell me? Nope. Nope, nobody said nothing. I was not there. Let me go to Galatians chapter 5. I was in Ephesians 5. I was not where I needed to be. And I was wondering, I don't remember having that part, but it did mention the spirit. I like that. So let's get to the right chapter here. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16 to through 19. What that told me is that people listen, but they're not listening. Because Sister Deborah was not reading Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. That also shows me what I always thought. Did not I tell y'all I'm speaking to the brick wall? And I know that I am. But the reason why I'm speaking to the brick wall is because even if I have to speak to the brick wall, you see, like the father said, if he has to have the rocks to cry out, he has to have the donkey to speak. It's going to be spoken. So I don't want the rocks to cry out for me. He created me a lane to run in, and long as I'm living, I'm going to run in that lane, and I'm going to continue to speak out what he give me. So that's why, in spite of the brick wall, because there should have been someone say, Sister Deborah, that's not in Galatians chapter 5. But that just shows you the Bible is not present to many. Okay, the following of this, the message is not intact, because no one is said a word. Sister Deborah, that Galatians chapter 5, that's not it. Okay, but I'm going to run on, because what, he created my lane, not you. Okay, so Galatians chapter 5. That's why I say all the time, I'm speaking to a brick wall. I know I am. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16, and it reads, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. So we see how it said, walk in the spirit. So there's a realm in which we're supposed to be walking as far as living in, so that what? So that we shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. I like that. Matter of fact, I love that. And verse 17 says, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. So we got a battle here in Galatians chapter 5, verse 16 and 17. We have a battle here with the flesh being against, okay, and lust against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Okay, so here it is again, a battle between what? Flesh and spirit. And whose battle is this? You battle your flesh, battle against your spirit. If your spirit is born of the spirit, your flesh is going to always battle against your spirit. You see, but it can't win. Why? Because your spirit is already written in the Lamb book of life. You see, that's the difference. To where someone who's born of the flesh, then their flesh is not going to be battling them, because the flesh is going to be the flesh is going to be walking the flesh way anyway. But when the flesh is walking the spiritual route, when the spirit is the flesh is walking spirit, then this is where your flesh is going to always battle against you, because your spirit is predestined to being born. It's not predestined, it is ordained and predestined to be born of the spirit, which your flesh will give you more hell, which anybody will tell you that when they're in the spirit, when they are or one of the elects, or they are born of the spirit, their flesh gives them hell. Addictions, habits. Even Paul said, when I try to do right, seem like evil is always, because he is born of the spirit. You see what I'm saying? So this is the reason why our flesh goes up against us and have us doing things we should not do. Okay, so when it says it in 18, it says, but if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. And this is what a lot of the whole Hebrew Israelite movement don't understand. When you are born of the Spirit, okay, you are born of the Spirit, you now falls under the law, and it is the spiritual law of he that came to sacrifice himself. He too, the Son of Man and the Son of Yah, came to redeem you back as born of the Spirit. So now you're not under the law everybody's trying to beat you under, but you under the law of the Spirit. And that's what people don't give Yah the glory in no shape, form, or fashion, by allowing him to continue to teach us how he is the law. You see, and if he comes to live in you, then who is going to check you about not following the law, or about how you're supposed to follow a law, or how the law is supposed to be the law is supposed to have you in control because this is their tradition? No, baby, the law is Yah. And that's what a lot of people will not respect. And they're not going to. And it's okay. They're not going to. You're not going to disrespect the fact that the law is Yah. Now what? And if he coming to live in us, then where's the law? It's in us now. Now listen to verse 18. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. I try to explain to you all. There's two laws. There's two commandments. There's a law in the Spirit. There's a law in the flesh. There's a commandment in the flesh, and there is a commandment in the Spirit. When you become born of the Spirit, then therefore the commandment and the law is within. You're not under the law that they're slamming across your head anymore, because you have now, Yeshua HaMashiach has redeemed you back as the one that came down, born of the Spirit. He has redeemed you back. Now, Yah lives in you and you in him, like it was before you got here. It was written in the Lamb. Your name was written already in the Lamb Book of Life. So that's why it says here. But you'll notice that they will never accept that, because they want you up under the law of the flesh. He that is born of the flesh is of the flesh. There's a commandments and there's a laws for those that's under born of the flesh. He that's born of the flesh and is of the flesh. There's laws and commandments. Okay. And this is what they never understood, that when some people who really, some of them just was saying it, but it's a lot of people don't understand that when people were saying, now we're no longer under the law, because they think they fall under the category of born of the Spirit, and they're not. I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not. But see, because the church have told them that, and a lot of people think they are those that are born of the Spirit. And I'm it just I'm like I kind of feel like I'm getting like Yah said. He said, Deborah, he's numb to it. It's like, it's nothing you can stand on. You can go to the Empire State Building. I can go right now and sit on the top of the Empire State Building and holler down, and everybody will listen. Before they listen to you, give them the word of Yah. That's the reality of it all. That's what you call the truth of the matter. Is it sad? Yes, it is. But you know what? When you are in the bosom of the Father, He allow you to accept it is what it is. Because see, you seeing it now, Deborah. I saw it way before anything was created. So then when he said like that to me, I'm like, Oh my, yeah, you done put up with it all this time. All this time. Yes, you are awesome, most high. You some king on that throne. Ooh-wee. How he do it? Galatians chapter 5 and verse 19. Yes. Now the works of the flesh are manifested, which are these. And then it begin to tell you all the sins. Well, wait a minute. You mean it's manifested in them? Oh yeah, it's already there, Deborah. It's already there. You see? Listen to what it says in 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, all way, all sin, all sin, all sin. But Father, you saying it's already manifest. You see, just like he that is born of the Spirit is of the Spirit. All the things of the Spirit from Yah, the things of the Spirit is already manifested in those of the Spirit. See, you all, because you don't accept the fact that heaven had orchestrated the beginning to the end, everything we're seeing, we're thinking it's based on what we are seeing, and it's the way we see things. No, it's the way heavens has already orchestrated this thing. And as they said, it's already manifested. These things are already manifested. This is what you call born of the flesh. Okay. Now, Galatians chapter 6, in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 8, it says, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall the Spirit reap life everlasting. See, the flesh is already predestined to the lake of fire, to corruption, the lake of fire. It's already a sign, you guys. But he that is of the Spirit is already a sign where life everlasting. See, like going back to what I just said, our mindset thinking that if I could just do this and do this and do this, and he don't see me doing it now, y'all. He don't know I'm doing this, but I'm doing this here and I'm doing it. What when this is, it's okay. If I do this, he don't see it. He don't know it. Oh, baby, please. Deborah don't know, but he do. He sees it all. Not say he sees it all. He's seen it all. That's why I don't waste my time being a liar and manipulating people and deceiving people when he know me. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. Father, you know what I just did? Oh no. See what I'm saying? No, I don't get involved in doing things that I know that I know he see all things. Matter of fact, he's seen it. I'm doing it. He's seen it before. So it's a lot of game plan here on the earth, and it's okay. And it says here, Galatians chapter 6 and verse 8, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. See, I know it don't make sense, does it? It don't make sense to people because they don't see where they could really benefit because they think it's everything's a game. Everything, or he's going to be so compact. You know what? Y'all did pour out quite a bit of grace and mercy on us, y'all. And that's another reason why people think he ain't real, or he ain't nobody, or he ain't gonna do nothing, or he ain't this and he ain't that, because so much grace and mercy been poured out. We didn't got it messed up from the floor thinking all our wrong is right and our right is wrong, and it's okay to do the things we continue to do, and we don't see no error in it, we don't see no wrong in it. That's because all that I ain't gonna say that's because I cannot say that. I will not say that. I thank you, Father, for that grace and mercy. Whatever they do with it on top of it, let that be them. But I thank you for the grace and mercy. Romans chapter 7, verse 14. In Romans chapter 7 and verse 14, it reads, For we know that the law is spiritual. Now, see, there you go. Now, this law he's talking about, he's not talking about the laws with the S. This law is spiritual, okay? But I am carnal, sold under sin. But we know that Yah's law is spiritual. Going back to what I was trying to say to you all before, even though he's saying he's carnal, he's willing to admit that Yah law is spiritual because people don't understand there's two laws. There's a law of the flesh and there's a law of the spirit. What they use for what 99.9 use the laws and the commandments of this book. You see what I'm saying? They have no idea that there's something that came greater than this book. And he come to live in us. And he is the law. He is the commandments. So something is great. That's spiritual. But we are so stuck on the tradition of man, we can't see it no other way but the way they say it. And when they use it, that's why they use it as an iron claw. And I don't see, and just thinking of that, I see why they use it as an iron claw, because the flesh needs the iron claw of the commandment and the iron claw of the laws for the flesh. But in the spirit realm, we don't need all that. He is the law and the commandment. He is spiritual. It's no way the Most High Yah comes and live in us and not have everything that you need within without using what the world said you need on the out. We got everything we need. Even him saying, I'm going to hold you blameless. We need to hold on to that. You got what he mean by hold blameless? He's letting you know that I got you. I got you. You're going to be okay. I got you. You see? Because if you let the world tell you, they'll have you thinking that you just out there trying to battle and trying to fight to have something that he already got. Because that's how they use commandments and laws. Okay? Now, in Romans chapter 8, verse 6 through 8, in Romans chapter 8, verse 6 through 8, and it reads, for to be carnal minded is death. But to be spiritual minded is life and peace. Now, don't you see that, y'all? Do y'all not see the difference? To carnal minded is flesh. So the mind of the flesh is totally different from the mind of those who are born of the spirit. That's why I say to you all, you can't listen to all the trash. You're actually listening to people who have a carnal mind. People who are what? Born of the flesh. Now, can priests, apostles, bishops, prophetess, evangelists, teachers, ministers, seers, watchmen, can they be carnal minded? Can they be born of the flesh? 99, I ain't gonna say 99, a large percentage are born of the flesh. They don't answer to he that is of the spirit. They are born of the flesh. The majority of them on YouTube are born of the flesh. That's why they don't touch the rim and the teaching. That's why they don't touch the rim nor the teaching of those things which are spiritual. They shouldn't have to. They're not obligated. Why should they that are born of the flesh come to the rim of spirit and teach those that are born of the spirit? Do you know they have nothing in common? Nothing, none whatsoever. They shouldn't even be able to balance. Just like I try to give you that example of marriage. Marriage in the spirit and marriage in the flesh is totally different. One is unequally yoked together, and the other one is yoked. One is a marriage of the flesh, and one is a marriage of the spirit. And then they wonder why divorce in the land. Come on! The broad gate is in the land too. Have you ever thought of that? See, you cannot bring unrighteous and wicked and evil into a form of just and upright. And that's what many people have done and continue to do. They just look at everybody on these devil platforms. Oh, he's a pastor. He's a pastor. Oh, he's an apostle. Oh, she's a prophet. Oh, he's a priest. Oh, baby. Oh, he's a Maury. He's a seer. Oh, he's a prophet. No, no, no. You cannot look at him like that. Why would you think he would say to somebody like Sister Deborah, try that spirit by that spirit? Because if that spirit is not of the spirit in which you are in, then that is someone who is born of the flesh. See, it's so many ways that you can pretty much measure people if you go the route that he tells us to. But we don't want that route because we want the route pretty much of which we already are going. We want that comfort in the flesh that we somebody in the spirit. Impossible. Impossible. And that's how we're living on this earth, in a way that our flesh justify, our flesh clarify, and our flesh identify that we are holy than thou. We got this sign. We see the light. We got the light. We understand spirit and truth. No, no, your flesh is feeding that to you because it's your worstest enemy. And it's going to live your worstest enemy, and it's going to die your worstest enemy. If you are born of the flesh, you are of the flesh. And everything in your eyes is clean, upright, just, holy. Because that's what you were born to be on this earth and walk your flesh out. And then when you stand before Yah, your spirit has to be judged based on how your flesh walked itself out. That's what you call born of the flesh. He broke it down in twos. Everything Yeshua said, the more and more I think of it, everything is still broke down in twos. So the one of the greatest news for the battle between polygamy, marriage, divorce, adultery, fornication, and all these things that's taking place in the minds of individuals, and the battles and the debates is vain and vax. It's worthless. Divide that bad boy in two. How about that? Let's divide it. Let's put all of it in twos. That which is done of the flesh is of the flesh. That which is done of the spirit is of the spirit. There you go. You solve the problem. They ain't gonna dare walk in the spirit realm. I guarantee you they won't. They will not, because in that spirit realm, it brings truth. It brings righteous. It's upright. It's just. But that's all you need to do is take that, cut that thing in two. Say, tell you what, we got two lists here. We're gonna cut that bad boy in half. One is gonna be a marriage and a divorce of the flesh. One is going to be a marriage and a divorce of the spirit. One going to be a polygamy in the flesh. One going to be polygamy in the spirit. And you will never, ever, 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 ever find polygamy lining up within the spirit. So how are we going to take something that we do in the flesh and get pleasure out of it and get assurance and turn it into righteous, upright, and just because someone said that he said we can do that? See, these are people who are born of the flesh. 99.9 on the devil platform is born of the flesh. That's why that gate is constantly being said to me, Deborah, I told you, very few shall find. He keep reminding me, stop wanting them to find the gate that leads this narrow. You want so bad the people to find it. You keep putting them in front of it. Let they tail stay over in that gate that they are in and call it what it is, the broad gate. Okay, so anything, even in your household, at your workplace, If you have issues on your job, you have issues in your household with your children, you have issues uh, uh, um, in your city, your neighborhood, with your neighbors, your family. All you have to do is draw that line. Draw that line. Put over here spirit and put over here flesh, and it'll answer your question. That's how simple it is. It'll answer your questions. And that's what they do not want to do. Why? Because they want everything to rest over here on the flesh end. But when you try to divide that thing into two, and it's so easy, you guys. It's so easy. All you have to do is just like we have been doing. Divide everything up from the kingdom. Let's start there. Okay, we got two lanes, one on the left and one on the right. On the left lane is darkness. On the right lane is light. On the left lane is the flesh. On the right lane is the spirit. On the left lane is the serpent seed. On the right lane is the spiritual seed. Let's take the word left and right lane away. Let's just put them in those categories. You can measure everything that's said, done in those categories. You can even judge yourself from those same categories. How does the things that I do reflect on my living? Are they things of the spirit or are they things of the flesh? Do it satisfy the spirit or do it satisfy the flesh? You see? Is it wrong in the flesh or is it wrong in the spirit? What is tempting me to do this? Is it my flesh or is it my spirit? Easily. Is it wrong? Is it right? Then if it's wrong, it goes in which lane? Your flesh. If it's right, then it goes in the lane of your spirit. That's how easy it is. Okay. So in Romans chapter 8 and verse 6, it reads, Romans chapter 8, I have to go up to Romans chapter 8, verse 5. They that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. Going back to what I was just saying. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. You cannot put them together and then try to figure it out. You got to separate them. If, say for instance, your child is, let me give you let me give you mine. My dog, my pit bull, I put some bark land, call myself a little land thing there, landscaping, and he dug it up, just tore it all up. And I got so mad at that dog. Never have that dog reacted the way he reacted to me, because I got so mad at him. Hey, we had a fight. You hear me? Oh, don't forget, y'all, we had a fight, but he was in the cage. You see what I'm saying? But I was so angry with him, and when he went outside the next day, I said, for that reason, I'm gonna be watching him. And he watching me, watching him. And all of a sudden, the man's dog next door come up. He was the one tearing it up. And what Ice thought he was doing, instead of letting him tear it up, Ice was jumping on his claws to keep him from pulling the stuff that way. Ice was tearing it up this way. And I said, my poor pit boy, he was so, you see, I had to stand out there to measure that and put it in the right order. Because the first thing, hey, Sister Deborah, non-tolerant. First thing, you out. You out. One strike, you out. I was going to call a vet. They come to get you. You getting out of here. We ain't going to have this. We ain't going to have this. That's how angry I was. And found out it wasn't him. He was trying to stop the dog next door from coming through the fence with his hands, tearing it up. And I videoed the dog doing it. And I was like, oh my goodness, you was just trying to stop him. And that dog looked at me like, Mama, all I was trying to tell you, but you wasn't listening. You wasn't listening to me. and I was no more wanting to listen to you. And we just had it out. So at that moment, I began to measure that situation and see that I was getting ready to give this dog up because before I have him tearing up anything, and then he don't let me discipline him. Oh no, we're not gonna have that. He didn't have a problem with me disciplining him. It was the way that I did it. You see, very vicious. You see, and he was like, "Wait a minute, you done lost your mind, and I ain't done nothing." So the next day, like I said, the other dog, I saw what he was doing. And I was video. I said, "So you trying to stop him from tearing it up?" And all the time we were out there, even to today, this has happened like 4 or 5 days ago, but even to today, he wasn't tearing nothing up. So it was the dog that was doing it, but he was getting the fault. So I said to the dog, I said, "Oh, mama, so sorry. I'm so sorry, baby." Just really letting him know. And I thought about, I measured it. I said, "Now, see, I was wrong for thinking that he done this because he was tearing it up. But in his mind, he's trying to keep the other dog from taking it away and pulling it from under the fence. So he's tearing it up, not trying to tear it up, but just bringing some understanding to what he was doing." You see what I'm saying? And this is having two sides. I had, okay, you going to the vet, to the vet, or you going to the what is it, Humane Society or whatever they call it. I got the number, and I even said, "Oh, I can't wait to call. I'm gonna call this day." Da, 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 da. And on that side, on one side, but on this here side, I was like, that's it. I'm not gonna have it. I'm too old. I ain't got time to be having no dog, no way. And I ain't finna take care of no dog after taking care of all these kids. You should have seen all the things I was talking about and I was saying. And then I began to think, now wait a minute, am I making any sense out of this? Am I making any sense? I've had this dog 3 years. Have you ever done? No. You see, start just panning it out and separating it, and just putting two sides to it. And I come up with the idea that it was me that thought it to be the wrong way and was willing to give up my dog. And it was me. You see what I'm saying? And just simply learning how to see situation and separating what is before you. And when you are born of the spirit, your spirit helps you because Yah is in your spirit helping you to divide things. But what was I doing? I was taking it in my flesh, not allowing it to be seen no other way but the way that I see it and what I saw, because of what I saw in before my face. The dog and tore up this thing. But after seeing how the whole thing panned out, I look at it as me, even though I am spiritual, which out a doubt I know that I am, but yet I still saw that situation of him. He did tear it up, but he had a reason why he was, and in his mind, he was trying to protect my thing instead of protecting it. He tore it up. So I said, no, I'm not going to let him go. And the way he was communing with me with his eyes and with his head, it was telling me, "Mama, see, that wasn't me. I wouldn't have done your stuff like that." It was so much, so many things this dog was doing was telling me, and I wasn't having it. Because all I was thinking, oh, pit bull, pit bull. You hear so much bad stuff about him to the world. I just figure out he just didn't lost it. He didn't got up and lost his mind. you know. So just being able to see the situation pan itself out and realizing it wasn't as bad as it was bad that it was tore up, but it wasn't as bad to put the dog and take the dog away, or to to let the dog go because it's something he did. He did it, but it was the reason why he did it. Okay, so we are in Romans chapter 8. It says, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit." Verse 6, "For a carnal mind is death." Now, who is that carnal mind? Flesh. That's what I was just saying. You should be able to know if you letting your flesh live out its life the way that you think Your flesh should be all on top of everything, and then your spirit has no connection to the Most High Yah, none whatsoever. I don't get, I really don't get why people think that no matter what we do, we all going to the kingdom. No matter what we do, how we act, and the way that we all going to the same place. No, he'd already let us know he only made two places. If he wanted us all to go to the same place, he wouldn't have created the lake of hell. And then he got books with people, all names in them, in the kingdom, spiritual. You so for what? Those that are going to the lake of hell. Revelation chapter 10. Is it 20? Revelation chapter 20. I think it is. Yeah, Revelation chapter 20. So you have to understand that it is two sides on the earth. Just as you got two sides to you. You have your flesh or you have your spirit. Which one you going to walk in? You going to let your flesh walk up and down the earth with your spirit, or you going to let your spirit walk up and down the earth with your spirit? Your flesh with your spirit. See, it's getting the flesh under the subjection to the spirit. That's those who are born of the spirit. It's got his flesh under subjection. He that is born of the flesh lets the flesh have dominion over the spirit. Let me say that again. The flesh, if this is the spirit, it's supposed to be over the flesh. Okay? If it's born of the flesh, it's supposed to be over the flesh. If it's born of the spirit, if it's born of the flesh, wait a minute, let me say it again. If an individual is born of the spirit, it is, oh, no, this is the spirit. This is the spirit. This is the spirit. If one is born of the spirit, okay, he is over, I did that wrong, over the flesh. This is the spirit over the flesh. This is the spirit over the flesh. This is the spirit over the flesh. But he that is born of the flesh is what? Over the spirit. He that is flesh over the spirit. He that is flesh over the spirit. So when it's time for judgment to stand before the both spirits, when it's time for both spirits to stand before the judgment seat, all spirits, it's going to, where's the flesh going? To the grave. It's not going to stand before the judgment seat. That's why it don't care about destroying your spirit. It don't care. So now both spirits goes to the altar. One goes this way, one goes this way. Why is this one this way? Because it let the flesh have dominion over it. Why is this one over this way? It's because it let the spirit have dominion over its spirit. It lived the spirit, and this one lived out the flesh. But both of them spirits, but this spirit lives out its own spirit and had dominion over the flesh. This here flesh had dominion over its spirit. This is how it is on the earth. You see, and this is why people can't beat addictions and all these things that's happening in the world and all the chaos. This is why. This is how many people that going through the broad gate. A great number. So here in uh, uh, Romans chapter 8 and verse 7 says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yah. It is against Yah, for it is not subject to the law of Yah. See, there go the law of Yah. There go the law of Yah. Where is this law of Yah? It's in you with Yah. Okay? Now watch this here. Neither indeed can be. It's no way he that is born of the flesh at all can be subject to the law of Yah. This law that you see and commandments, these laws and commandments you see on the earth, is for the flesh. It's to tame the flesh. But there's a spiritual law. There's a spiritual law. And it tames the spirit. There's a spiritual commandment. It tames the spirit. So that's why people are confused about when we're under the law and that the law, you got to uphold the law. You know why they saying that? It's because they're thinking that living and life is in the power of who they are and what they are and in their hands. And with that, they figured that they could live and use the laws and the commandments that is given to them on a piece of paper or in a book. They can rule and continue living the way that they're living, because all they have to do is batter you, beat you across the head with it. And what they don't understand, you can't beat those that are born of the Spirit across the head with the commandments and the law that you hold tradition to, because you fail to realize the Spirit dwells in them. Yah dwells in them. He's the creator of law and commandments. So therefore, they don't need to follow you. They need to follow the law of Yah and the commandment of Yah, the fear of Yah. See, that's where people don't want to do. They want the one that they can see and follow, and one that they can see, speak, and believe. They don't want nothing that they can't see and to believe, and they can't see, so they don't believe it. Okay, so it says that in verse, ooh, where am I at? In verse 8, it says, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yah. I don't see why people don't get that. I just do not understand why people don't get it. And I know why, because I've been in the midst of the Father in heaven since I was 4, to where I can't understand why have nobody gripped anything in 59 years. I just don't get it, because we people really wants to live it the way they want to feel it in the flesh. You see what I'm saying? Because they think the flesh is going to outlive any and everything, and this is where it's all started, and this is where it's going to end. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Now, watch this here, you guys. Let's go to John, the Gospel of John, chapter 3, and verse 19 and 20. Watch this here. Let me see if that's the. I hope that's the right one. The Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 19 and 20. I'm way on the wrong page. The Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 19 and 20. Now listen to this. Verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is come. Wait a minute. That light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds are evil. Now, when I see that, I see Yeshua saying and calling a certain particular individuals, which are males. He says what? And see, this is why many people say, well, okay, Deborah, you always bashing men. You always say something negative about men. Wait a minute. Have you read your study guide? It doesn't tell you anything women doing. And when it does, it knows how to say women. And when it want to tell you what children are doing, or something about the children, he tells you. But when he wants to really get to you to understand it from the beginning to the end, he pulls up and calls it who he want it to be, to really let you see who I'm pressing this against. And here in the Gospel of John, chapter 3, and verse 19, it reads, and this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. So we know that darkness is also connected with what? Evil. You see? So what is against, what is or buckle up against light? Evil, darkness. So here it is, just like in the title, light against darkness. It's like unto the serpent seed and the woman seed. It's like unto he that is born of the flesh and he that is born of the spirit. It's like unto Satan and this and Yah. Totally different. That's what light is to darkness. Totally different. That's what born of the flesh is to born of a spirit. Totally different. Satan's seed against the woman's seed, totally different. But why is it we live on this earth putting it all together? Because we did that and made all of it worshiping wicked and evil and darkness and flesh. That's where it all went to, y'all. And no one ever thought of it like that. But that's the truth of the whole matter. Look at the whole world, and based on what you've seen and what you've heard and how you have lived, it went over to the side of the left. No one focuses on the right side where there's light, where there's the spirit. You see, the seed of the woman, which is a spiritual seed. No one looks over there to that end. They stay and remain everything on the dark side. So here it is. The Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 19, it reads, "And this is the condemnation, that light is come unto the world. And men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil." Verse 20, "For everyone that doeth evil hate the light." See, a lot of people don't know that. They have no idea of those that are evil hate the light. Because what? Genesis chapter 3 and 15. They didn't see the two that he split up. And what did he say? Intimacy. I'm going to put intimacy between the serpent seed and the woman seed. And what is that intimacy is? Hate. It means hate in Greek and Hebrew. Intimacy. So Yah created a space between the woman seed and the serpent seed. And what was that space called? Intimacy. Hate. Now, here, let's go back to 20. And what does it say? "For everyone that doeth evil hate the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds shall be reproved." That's how people stay away from Sister Deborah's channel. They don't bother me. I'm gonna be honest with you. They don't bother me, because I know the division of Yah is in between. I do know that. I know it ain't got nothing to do with Sister Deborah. It's got to do with the division that Yah has put between and set boundaries. That's what he did. He think I don't know that. He just found out I knew it, didn't he? He know all things. But yeah, there's a boundary there. You see? And I don't think I don't see it. Don't think I don't feel it. But there's a boundary. And it's because over here I'm gonna to me it ain't important the way I see it and how I see it. It's what you're seeing. Many people miss out on everything in life because their feelings and emotion get stung before anything. And they don't understand, why do you want Yah to come to the world as it is today, whining and dining people? What make people think that in this day and time we in, it's time to play like oh, you got to take it easy and delicate, say what they want to hear, say it a way that they can understand, say it a way that you rubbing their back and caressing them. That's what everybody looking for, and I already know that. I know that, but on this page you ain't gonna get it. So, like I say, slither in or slither back out backwards. It don't matter. Because, see, if Sister Deborah was on here for a check or to mislead you and so on, then that's what I would be on here for. But I'm on here for the opposite. And matter of fact, hey, anytime the Creator creates you a lane to run in, you better run, girl, run. You see? So it just and you sitting here and you getting all this wonderful knowledge from the Spirit, and He already done told you you don't have to share it with nobody. You're doing it because you want to do it, because you're still in the race. You see? Because a lot of things I'm saying, it's not going to change no one mindset. It's not going to even cause them to think or say, "Woo, there go a light." It's not going to cause them to have so much in them. Guess what I heard? Today I heard a man teaching about, and it just took me for a woo. He say people don't really get it when all this chaos, and he was naming everything that's going to hit this land, United States. He was breaking it down. He said the only thing you're going to have is that which somebody taught you in the spirit realm. Praise the mighty Yah. When he said that, I was like, oh, Father, you on your way, ain't you? I know you're on your way. I know you on your way. Because to hear that man say that, he's saying that all hell is on every side and people cannot see it. And the only thing you're going to be able to have to take with you is that which someone has spoken, spirit and truth. That's the only thing you'll have to take you, to give you the hope and to give you the whole overall of how to take it from here. Because he was talking about, my glasses real crooked. He was talking about all the chaos that's going on, and how, just like I tell y'all, how everybody walking around like they in La La Land. And he was just talking and talking. And when he said that, I had to turn around and I said, Father, you on your way, ain't you? I know you on your way. Because what that man said was, I was like, that's why I tell him, put it in your backpack. I've been saying that. I've been telling them spirit and truth, the light, which, but going back to the kingdom, I already got who's mine. Okay. You just still in the race, giving still pure word to the light of spirit and truth. Okay. So here it is. John chapter 3 and verse 19. Was that John chapter 3 and verse 20? And everyone that doeth evil hate the light, neither cometh to the light. That's exactly what I try to explain to y'all about this page. They won't come to it. I don't blame them. I do not blame them, not one bit. And I don't hold it against them. And I do not hold it against them. Because let flesh be flesh and let spirit be spirit. We don't have to all the time think that trying to put them both together. That's where the problem. That's where the problem is at. Everybody trying to connect the light with the darkness, the flesh with the spirit, the serpent seed with the spiritual seed of Yah. Everybody trying to put them together to make it look like it's the truth. Sister Deborah don't need it, baby. I don't need it. Okay. So here we go. So I like that. Y'all just look at that. It says in John, the Gospel of John, chapter 3 and verse 20, for everyone that doeth evil hate the light, neither cometh to the light. I know that to be a fact, lest his deeds shall be reapproved. Let me see what verse 21 is saying. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God, in Yah. Verse 21, the Gospel of John, chapter 3 and verse 21. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light. Praise the mighty Yah. That his deeds may be made manifest, and that they are wrought in Yah. So in Yah. So he reversed it to the one that has truth. They know how to come to the light. Praise the mighty Yah. To where he that is evil hates the light and would go the opposite way of the light. So those that are in the light, those that are truth. See, that's what I like, that word truth. Those that are truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be manifested. Why? Because he's coming to the light. Now, when he's coming to the light, why is he coming to the light? Anybody knows? Do anybody know why the individual is coming to the light? Anybody in the live chat, would you happen to know why he that doeth truth cometh to the light, because that individual already have truth. Truth is already in them. The only place they want to be found, the only place they desire is where the light is at. That's why. But I like that because it's going back to what I've been telling y'all for the last 2 years. Spirit and truth. That's what I tell y'all. Spirit and truth. And it's saying this individual has truth. And it's going to the what? The light. Spirit and truth. And the light in the right hand. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. All this other stuff they doing out here, you better stay away. Psalms 139. What time? Psalms 139. In Psalms 139 and verse 12. Let's see what Psalms has to say. This is a Psalms 139 and verse 12. What? Oh, David, what are y'all gonna say up in here, back in here? Psalms 39 and verse 12. Yea, the darkness hide it not from thee. That means darkness don't hide from you guys. They're on every corner. Darkness is everywhere. But we are the ones that has a pen needle light and light. We are the ones to walk into darkness with what? Truth. That's why Sister Deborah can't afford to get into this devil platform, this darkness. Y'all don't know what it is. It is. It's darkness. I have to come on here and give some sort of light. This is what y'all is holding me liable for. Why? I built you a lane. Do you all understand what that lane really is detailed? That you're still living when I could be dead. But I got a lane for you to continue to run in. A lane of safety, assurance. A lane where I am at, that you can always know for assurance that I got you. That's what that lane is. Don't turn the other way. Go back to the lane. Because there's so many voices in the land. People are turning all kind of ways. People are turning this way, that way, but they trusting in these platforms to be the light. So here we are. Psalms 139 and verse 12. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. That means the darkness is looking exactly like it is the day, which is what? Light. So somewhere the darkness today is winning because it's portraying that it's the day when it's darkness. You see how easy people can be won over in the darkness, and they can reside in the darkness, live and die in the darkness. Listen to what darkness is doing. But the night shineth as day. So it's looking like it's day, trying to shine and appear to be day when it's darkness, evil, trying to pretend to be light. The darkness and the light are both alike into thee. This is people who are caught up in so much darkness in the world today. The darkness, verse 12, Psalms 39 and verse 12. Now, what does with this here with me? I'm looking at David. David, what are you saying? He's actually saying something that's very powerful. Yea, the darkness hide. The darkness hide. Here is the darkness. Wait a minute. Here is the darkness. It hideth not from thee. It's in plain view. Here's the darkness. But the night shineth as the day. Why? It's pretending to be day. It's pretending to be the light. And it's right in front of you. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. To thee. That are what? Born of the flesh. He that is the serpent seed, he that is in darkness. They have it so panned out in this day and time. I tell you all over and over that they are appearing to be the light in thee. That's how they have won everybody on these devil platforms. And more I see them coming up out of the woodworks. Just all of them coming up. Oh, we the chosen, talking about the chosen one, talking about the chosen one, talking about the Israelites. They're talking about everything that means nothing. Why ain't nobody talking about the Most High Yah? I don't know if y'all know that. You don't hear too many people talking about that no more. Talking about what, Deborah? The Most High Yah. You hear them talking about everything going on in the world that has to do with melanated Hebrew Israelites, the house of Israel, the tribe of Judah, Russia, China, United States, Trump, Biden, all of this mess. But nobody's talking about he that sits on the throne. Why? Because all these platforms is appearing to be the light to thee, but they are darkness. See, this been going on ever since I've been on here. It's been going on. That's why I kept trying to figure out why don't they open the doors with them keys? They need to go in and open them doors with them keys they have. And he said, they can't, how you expect them to open the doors with the key, Deborah? And I ain't gave them there. You see, in my mind, I wanted them to bring out spirit and truth with the light. They couldn't do it because they didn't have the keys. That's why they couldn't open the door. The father had to tell me, Deborah, how do you expect him to open up the door? And I ain't gave him the key. So this is what these platforms are doing. And it says, I love this though. I really do. I like what it says. Both alike to thee. We're taking this darkness that's hiding, shining as the day, portraying to be the light. To who? To those that it is who? In the midst of darkness. So they think they got both sides. That's what these platforms, especially YouTube, is. I see so many. I even heard of someone out, a man that's on here. I mean, ain't got no truth, no spirit and truth resting nowhere in him. And he gets on here and he's trying to really speak on any and everything as if his even it's just something about a man's mouth, this mouth of a man, that leads me to measure them as somebody that's out of order 100%. That's just like Dow's, Geno Jennings. His mouth is like that too. It's just something, it's not something, it's the way they move their mouths to me. A man. Now, you know, women, we run our mouths, but a man, it's just something about it. And this guy is exactly like that. His mouth is just like Dow's, always open loud, and just when it talk, it's just something in it that's just not right. So me myself, I judge that these people are not of the spirit of the Most High Yah. These men are not those. These one I just told you, the one that I don't what do you say? Something about smart on his page. Loud as I don't know what, and don't have no spirit and truth. Now let's go to Luke. In Luke chapter 11, in Luke chapter 11, verse 35 and 36. In Luke chapter 11, verse 35 and 36, no man in 30, wait a minute, 35, Deborah. Take heed, therefore, that the light which is in thee be not darkness. Be not darkness. You see you see where that light is at? Going back to try to get y'all to see. This light and darkness is represented as the serpent seed or the spiritual seed. He that is born of the flesh, he that's born of the spirit. The light You can be the light or you can be the darkness. You see? Here in Luke chapter 11, verse 35, it says, take heed therefore that the light which is in thee be not darkness. How can they do that? Didn't I tell you? You should know. If nobody else, you should be able to know this. He's even telling you in verse 35, Luke chapter 11, verse 35. Take heed. Who is he telling that to? Me? He's telling that to each and every last one of us. Take heed, therefore, that the light which is in you, not in they, in you, be not darkness. Because you all don't believe that you are either born into the darkness or you are born into the light. It's the same thing as he is born of the flesh or he that's born of the spirit. He that is of the serpent seed or he that is of the spiritual seed. It's the same thing. You have to put everything and divide it into twos. Okay. And then verse 36 says, if thy whole body therefore be full of light. You see? So when you hear Sister Deborah keep saying spirit and truth with the light in the right hand, or just a pen needle light, or just, a pen needle light to me is hope. You see? There's subject to be hope there, okay, or a chance there. So Luke chapter 11 verse 36 says, if thy whole body therefore be full of light, having no part dark, and the whole shall be full of light, as when the bright shineth of a candle, do it give it the light. I've told y'all several times, and this is not just way back. This is throughout my life. I can go places and pray. People will walk up to me and say to me, "Ma'am, you got a light about yourself. You got a light." Europeans too. This has happened to me throughout my life. When they say that to me, that's when I am full of light. I said, they can see it. They can see it. You see what I'm saying? Do I all the time go around being full of the light? No, I don't. And this is what he's saying, full of the light, having no part dark, and the whole shall be full of light, as when the brightness shineth of a candle, do it give light. See, a lot of us didn't understand. People should be able to walk up to us and see that we carrying some sort of light. It don't have to be a bright and full of light, but some sort of light. We should be able to and you want me to tell y'all something though. The thing about Sister Deborah, I think, is what keeps my light from being bright every day. I think, even though they say it when I'm not aware of it, I have a very mean look about me. Very mean look. And it has been with me since I was a little girl. In elementary school, in high school, even when the time I went to college. I didn't go all 4 years, but why? Why would you say that? Because my face is a mean look. Really, really. I'm laughing now, but the way my whole face is created. Okay, let me not smile. And notice my mouth, how it goes like like you see the happy face, a round face, and it has a happy face, or it can be a way, but mine shows a sad face. And my son took my portfolio, and every picture showed that I was looking so mean. We had to do away with them all, y'all. That's just how bad it looked. And this is how. Wait a minute. Now, do I look mean? But honestly, So for somebody to walk up to me and say that I can see you got a light about yourself, or is you got you got a brightness on you, ma'am. And I'm like, okay, that's that ruach. That's how I see it. But because people walk and they say, well, baby, uh, can I talk to you? Uh, but you looking so mean, and I look like that all my life. I heard that my mom and my sister and them all their life they said people said that to them too. Mine's got the sad face. You see my see, and I'm always like this. So they say I'm mean, and my eyes it's not all the way open. The sun is bright, and that's another thing people never knew that they could never tell that she has light brown eyes. I mean, like really light brown eyes because I'm looking so mean. So when they do say that to me, it's not a time where I'm smiling and grinning and oh, can y'all hear me? Oh, it's still on. So I do know that beyond that, but I do all my whole life. Everybody say I look mean. Hmm. Oh, you mean? You look mean. You be frowning, sad looking. Okay, so here in Luke chapter 11:36, it says, "If thy whole body therefore be full of light." Now, isn't that beautiful to know that the Father is willing to allow our inner man to have full of light? We were supposed to be the light to the what? World. And this is another thing that Israel never understood. Israel wasn't the light to the world. They thought they were. And they think they are today. That's why you know that they haven't learned what you all are hearing today. You got to cut that thing in half. Separate that. See, they thinking because they Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they are the light to the world. The light of the world could be the house of Israel, but the only part of those who are of the body of Hamashiach, which is Christ, the body of Christ, the church, which is the remnant, which is the elects out of the house of Israel. Just imagine being the light. We're the one that should be talking to people and talking to the world and standing. And that's another thing I said to myself. I always believe this, you all. And I know you all might not believe this. I always believe that you never sit up under an individual over and over and over and over without picking up the baton and running yourself. I don't, I never, and I knew that when I was a young person in church. I figured, okay, you sit in this church for 2, 3 years, and if you're young, then you maybe sit in there till you get to be a young adult. But after a while, take off, run for the Most High Yah. But people sit in church 40, 50, 60 years, 30 years. They sit in there a long time. And then when you ask them something, they can't tell you nothing because everybody don't they didn't understand that you're supposed to be in the light of the world. The pastor should never have wanted you to sit there all that time. He was supposed to send you out on the highways and byways, and you were supposed to start your own in a sense of the what Yah has called you to do. Yah has not called everybody to sit amongst a man or sit amongst a woman. You sit there until you find out who and what he wants of you. And you take off in the calling, the purpose that he has called you to and have ordained you. But some people might say, well, okay, well, Deborah, I don't know if I'm ordained. I don't know if I'm predestined. I don't know if he given me a choice. He given me, but you should be doing something separate, something that can give back to Yah in a way that you can show him that you've gotten enough to give what you got to someone else. You see, you have enough light, you have enough spirit and truth to minister to your families, to your neighborhood, to your co-workers, where you travel, where you go, when you go to the store, when you go anywhere, you have enough word to speak it into others' lives. Why? Because you're supposed to be the light. You are you. And did you know the light is hated in the family? Always. Because they see the light and they see the brightness, but they don't know how to take it. So they will prefer to put it in the black box and keep it there so that they can continue to live on the dark side without having to look at the light. And that's 100 in everybody's family. It makes a lot of sense. That's why he told Yeshua, say, you think I come to bring peace? You think I come to bring peace in the house? I come to bring the sword. The sword is truth, y'all. Why? Because every household need that sword to be brought forth. Because we're living under the standards of mom and dad, tradition, the way the world said, news, platforms. We living under all of that. He said, but now I come to bring this sword to separate. Now, this is what the elderly and many pastors and many people will not understand. When the father has to give this idea to the son, Yeshua, to tell the people, you come to bring the sword. You ain't come to make peace. You come to bring the sword between father and son, mother and daughter, you know, daughter and mother, father and son and father. I come to bring the sword. Why? Because yeah, let me see. I'm going to sit here for just a few minutes and see, why is he bringing the sword? What is the sword coming to do? Something done happened. Y'all didn't even know. No one never noticed it either. Something has happened that the father, son, the son, to give the understanding that he's not coming to bring the peace. I come to bring the sword. Why? Why? What I'm going to say it. The reason why is because he went on and he said, I come not to bring peace, but the sword. Where you're going to have father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, daughter-in-law. I don't know where the daughter-in-law come in, y'all. I don't know where that bad one come in there. Daughter-in-law against mother and mother against daughter-in-law. I don't know where that come in and how that came to be when you don't see son-in-law against father and father against son-in-law. So why would they create mother-in-law against daughter-in-law? I don't know. I know it. I'm gonna get in trouble because I don't know that one. That one there just doesn't balance out. But what he's saying is, Deborah, in the family, you have the same thing you're teaching them right today. You got a line. You got those that are in the dark and those that are in the light. And those that are in the light are those that are of the spirit. And those that are of the light are those that are in spirit and are the spiritual seed of Yah. But they in the same bloodline in the house, not just the building, but the womb of a father that bring forth these seeds. I got to separate. I come to separate this bad boy, to get darkness, the serpent seed, and darkness, and he that is born of the spirit away from he that is born of the flesh. You see, I come to bring that between them. Because what happens? Those that are born of the spirit, born of the light, the spiritual seed, they get detached to the dark one 100%. But I come to bring the sword to separate them by the word. And it does. The word of who Yah is, that bad thing separate any and everybody. But as you they teach it on this platform, oh no, it's about husband, wife, children, all the chain of command, her submitting, all the things that don't mean any sense. But I want to say something to you all. The reason why Sister Deborah stayed real hardcore on understanding when they're telling women to submit to the husband because he is the head. This is where you know Satan has overpowered truth, okay, in the light. Because if you got a man that's the head, he's a leader and he's head over his household. Where is he with Yah? He could be the serpent seed. He could be the one that's in the house that is of the darkness. He could be the one that's born of the flesh. So, what would cause a woman to submit to he that is of the flesh, that's born as the serpent seed, that is of the dark? It's happening all over the world. This is why Yeshua said, I come and I ain't coming to bring no peace. Get out my way. I'm here to separate the light from the darkness. I'm here to separate the flesh from the spirit. I'm here to separate the serpent seed from the woman seed. I ain't coming to bring you peace. I'm coming to just separate them. Because this one on this side, on this right side, I'm dying and I'm redeeming them back to the bosom of the Father. You see, that's why I couldn't come bring peace. Peace between what? That's not what I'm here for. I'm coming to bring division, to separate this mess. Because it looks like the ones that's born of the spirit, that of the light and of the spiritual seed of Yah has gotten entangled with the ones in the darkness for sure. But I come, bam, to cut in between it, to separate that stuff. See, they don't know nothing about that. They don't even know what's going on. And that's what we should be doing today. We should be separating ourselves as the body of Christ, as the body of Hamashiach, separating ourselves from the world in so many ways. I heard this young girl say, and she was teaching a pretty good lesson. She said, uh, uh, all the things that we should have been doing, and even those that are in the light today, should be trying to come together, come to some sort of. But see, this is the thing. When we separate and come into a unity, it has to be where the spiritual callings is set in order. You can't just have, I'm a man, I'm a leader, I'm a ruler, I'm a king, I'm a lion, I'm ruling, I'm the man. Oh, no, no, no. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. Get in line somewhere. Get your tail in line somewhere. You see? See, that's where the problem would be. And another sad thing about that, she wasn't the only one I heard today. It's a guy, he was talking about that same thing. And he said we shouldn't be going these ways. But what they don't want to do is come into the righteous way. And the righteous way is not about making the flesh of a man the head of nothing. That is not the righteous way. Because a man that's the head of anything cannot override the servants, the prophets that the Father is putting in the midst of them. They didn't then, and they ain't going to override them today. It's not the will of the Father. Why? Because from the beginning to the end, He never allowed them to override His prophets. That's how Aaron and what's her name, Marian got in trouble. You can't just step up and try to override those that Yah has put there to lead the multitude. See, this is what they don't understand. When he got an order there, he has an order there. Was that Saul and what's his name? Samuel? David even had a prophet. He always give them somebody that they would listen to. You get what I'm saying? He always did it that way from the beginning to the end. He always did it that way. That's why when he son, if he had 50 million, no, I'm gonna say 50,000 Israelites that he needed to lead from one place to another or to say something to him, he always sent one prophet. One. He didn't send a pastor, a bishop, a priest, you see, a teacher, a Mori, a seer, a watchman. No, he sent that one prophet. And that one prophet is not there to stay. It's just to get order so that the prophet can tell the people, hey, this is y'all want it like this, and bam, they out. That's all they needed for it. Same way I tell y'all. You're not supposed to sit there day and night, years and years and years. All of a sudden, now it's 40 years, and then you still, no. Every calling person called by Yah, you go in for the mission and come out. That's it. Most of them prophets, they got murdered. But still in all, it was in the will of the Father to send them in just to give them a right now word and to tell them what I said. Bam, you out. You good. You see? While everybody today, it's more caught up in, watch this here, submitting to the kings, leaders, and rulers. You ain't going to find that in scriptures. You're not going to find it in their scriptures, the book that they tell you. What did the Bible say? What did the Bible say? Because every man that's a pastor is supposed to be up under some. They're like the fifth on the total pole. How they get up to be the one, I don't know. I can't explain it. And these men will not allow Yah's prophets in their midst. They can't, oh no, they can't have that. Not just a prophetess, but they ain't gonna have no prophet coming in there. They ain't gonna have it because this is the type of rule they want. This is the type of power and authority they want. They want to be these leaders and rule, and we want to rule. Who wants to rule all this darkness we talking about right now? What Yeshua say? I ain't come to bring no peace. I got to deal with this darkness. I got to separate. I come to bring the division between the two. I got to separate some things. I ain't here to bring you into one. I'm here to bring no peace. I come to bring the sword. And that's how it even should be today. Not trying to bring people together because you Hebrew Israelite, because you true Jews. No, everybody is not the body of Hamashiach. You look for the light. You want to come together as the light, you guys. It's nothing wrong with coming together as the light. One might have one pin needle light, one might be full of light, one might be full of light, one might be one half of light. It don't matter. Bringing light into one, you're taking everything out of darkness and bringing it into the light, and that's where you work therein with each other, is in that light. And if you really, really think, if you came into that unity of the light of the Father's Ruach in spirit and truth, you'll find where you would have it just like it was back in the apostles' days. Everybody was on one accord. But see, that's the level that they'll never get back to because no one even want to come near that because they're pretending that they're light, but they're truly dark, shining as if they are the day. Okay, so let me see what I got here. So here I go here in Second Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. Second Corinthians chapter 4. It's everything to me is like a game. And to me, I see it as if everyone plans is playing a game. And do you know the game that I see that everybody playing does not include Yah? That's the strange part about it. Second Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6, and it reads, for Yah who commanded the light to shine out of the darkness. Commanded. Say that again, Deborah. Commanded. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold up, Father. Yeah. Say that again, Deborah. Commanded. Second Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. Yah commanded the light to shine out of darkness. Have shined in our hearts to give light of the knowledge of the glory of Yah in the face of Yeshua HaMashiach. This is what we should be doing. Let me read that one more time. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. For Yah who command light to shine out of darkness have shined in our hearts to give light of the knowledge of the glory of Yah in the face of Yeshua HaMashiach. I love that. That sounds so beautiful. And I like the idea who command, because that sounds like something that's in the right hand of the Father. You see what I'm saying? Light to shine out of darkness. And this is the reason why Sister Deborah constantly telling you about the light in your right hand, pin needle light. Everything I've been not constantly been saying is connected to spirit and truth and the light. And this is why I have no problem with chewing up and chewing out any and everything else. It's because I know that this here, the light and darkness, is two separate. I do know that he that is born of the spirit is different than he that is born of the flesh. He that is of the serpent seed is different than he that is of the woman seed. I know that. So as I have taught over and over, trying to get people to see everything in twos, no matter what you do in life, in not life, in living, separate everything in twos, even your emotions, break that thing in twos. Your feelings, break that thing down in twos. Everything, break it in twos. It allow you to understand really where you stand. You see, it allow you to judge yourself daily. That's what it allow you to do. Now we have a verse. We have Isaiah chapter 5, and I got one more after that, and I think that'll be it. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. And I want to see what Isaiah is saying about this. Now I don't know if you all know this. Oh, I got to go to John chapter 8, 37 through 38. Did I? I think I went there. I think I did. I don't know. It talks about the seed. So I don't know if we covered the seed. The whole ideal of this message is the seed, the spirit, and the light, and the serpent seed, the flesh, and the darkness. So let's go to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Let's see what that is. What is he saying here? Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. And it reads, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light. See, that's the second one that we just read, not just read, but I think that was in John, where they was making the darkness appear to be light, to shine like the day. You see, this is what you see on these devil platforms. These are people are night, but they appearing to you all as the as a shine of the light. How they winning you over, I don't know how they doing it, but it doesn't matter, because I still got to divide it on both sides. Flesh with flesh and spirit with spirit. You still got to cut the cheese and land it right where it need to be landed, need to be, because that's exactly what you have to do to get it where you need to get it to make it make sense. So Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Now right here with the darkness, switching it over. And this is what you see in the world today. And everybody think that they living in the light, child, and living in righteous. When I see as a prophet in this day and time, I don't see the light, child. I don't see the light. I do not see the light on these platforms. I will not tell you I I I think by right I should tell you if I see it. I don't see the light. I see some truth being spoken without the light. So even this verse lets you know that darkness is gonna over succeed with all the darkness on the earth. And this is what you see. That's why you see so much darkness to where people looking at darkness as the norm. And you pull up talking about what you talking about, Deborah. You the light. You ain't talking about nothing. We so used to this darkness. It's just in us, Deborah. This is all we know. You see? And as it says here, and put darkness for light. And they turn around and put light for darkness. You tell me that ain't messed up. So where are we, Father Yah? Where are we to go then, Father? Nowhere. Where is He to go in us? Keep being the light that He is in us and leading and guiding us. That's where we go. That's where we end up in Him. That's why. Because they're going to switch the light for the darkness and the darkness for the light. So everything's going to be messed up from the floor up anyway. But greater is He that is in us than he that is in the world. It's going to line that thing up and line that thing down. Okay. So Isaiah verse 9, chapter 9, Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 2. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 2. And it reads, the people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them have the light shined. The people that walketh in darkness have seen a great light. Praise the mighty Yah. Those that have walked in darkness have seen a great light. They have dwelled in the land of the shadow of death. Upon them have the light shined. Look, notice that. Notice what they did. They seen the great light, and upon them have the light shining. That means Yah blessed them that walked in darkness and have seen the great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them have the light shining. Who is the light? The Most High Yah. He shined on them. You see? He is the light. Christ is the lowercase light. We are the lowercase light. Yah is the capital light. The Gospel of John. In him was light, and he wanted to light man, which is light man is spirit, giving them a spirit. That's how he gave them his image. He's a spirit. He gave them an image of a spirit, like unto his spirit. That's why we are going to be judged based on the spirit that he blown into us. And a lot of them haven't been taught that. They have no idea what Sister Deborah said. But that's the life that they chose to walk in, the darkness of the understanding of darkness. Okay. I think we did cover John. I think, let me go to John because I should have covered two verses or two chapters and some verses regarding the seed. We talked about the seed. We know in Genesis chapter 3 and 15, the woman seed and the serpent seed. These are seeds that are separated from the kingdom. Okay. They're not just getting on the earth and separate, they're from the kingdom, separated already for the glory of the Most High Yah. Okay. Those that are his spiritual seed, which is called the woman seed, and those that are the serpent seed, they are also separated from the kingdom. That's how their name got in the Lamb Book of Life. People think he's waiting on how you conduct yourself on the earth to put you in which book. No, baby, heaven's already got it wrote in and wrote out. Okay, so the Gospel of John, chapter 8 and verse 37. Let me see if that's, let me see what that is saying. In verse 38 and 37, And it reads in 38 and 37. Okay, and it reads, I know that ye are Abraham's seed. Now listen to this. Verse 37. The Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 37. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word has no place in you. You hear that, Israel? You hear that, Israel? You hear that, Judah? Judah! Judah! Do you hear that? Judah! You hear? You sure? Oh, no, you don't hear it. You ain't gonna hear it. That's how that darkness overshadowed them to the point where they cannot hear, nor can they see. John chapter 8, verse 37. Yeshua is saying, I know that ye are Abraham's seed. You hear that, Israel? I know you Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place, none whatsoever in you. So you say, you Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you the true Jews, you the children of the Most High Yah. See, this is where they don't really think to search and get up under the Ruach. Tarry for the Ruach first and foremost, and get your butt up under it. Don't try to go over it. Get your tail down under it and listen to it when it speaks to you and teach you. Because right here is showing, so what, you Abrahams? You ain't mine. Ha, ha. Oh, ooh-wee. So what? You Abraham's seed. You have no place in me. Praise the mighty Yah. That went over your head right there. I can tell you that right now. You know why it went over your head? Because don't forget, the Lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. And in him were rewritten in the Lamb book of life. So he's telling them, you have no place in me on the earth nor in the heaven. So while they walking around here talking about we the true people, we the children of the Most High Yah, we are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we the true Jews, you the true fools, because you have not realized that there's two sides of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's the side of the flesh. There's the side of the serpent seed on Jacob. There's a side of the darkness. And on the other end, there's a side of the spirit. There's a side of the light. And there's a side of the seed of the woman. It's separated already from the kingdom. And I never saw this in the way that I see it today, because he's not only saying something, he's checking them, letting them know. But ye seek to kill me, you Abraham's seed. But yet you seek to kill me. Is that not like today? Abraham, Jacob's seed is killing, Judah is killing brothers, mothers, sisters, babies, children, themselves, all kind of things, and not even figuring it out. You are not the spiritual Jacob. You are the flesh Jacob, just like he's trying to tell them, and like I be trying to tell you all. That's the part of this here topic, is dividing that left from that right, and getting the understanding that they total different. You're not going to see both of them in the kingdom because you Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob seed. No, you're not. You're going to see the spiritual ones. And the spiritual ones don't mean the perfect ones. It don't mean the excellent ones. It don't mean the sinless ones. That's another thing people don't understand. It just being the ones that Yah pulled to his own. That's why he called them his. Because it's the ones from the heaven, not from the ones from the earth. See, we dealing with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from the flesh of the world. But see, we never were taught that you have to split this thing in half and separate the spiritual Jacob from the flesh Jacob. You have to separate the spiritual Abraham from the flesh Jacob. I mean, from the flesh Abraham. Didn't Yeshua do it? Yes, he did. He said, you are the seeds of who? Abraham's. But you ain't got no place in me. So you're not the spiritual seed. You the seed of Abraham from the flesh, but you're not the spiritual seed. See, that's what I'm saying. People messed up. They got it wrong. And then what's the next verse? The next verse is 38. I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father. Now, what did he just do with you all? What did he just say right here? Now, this is where I know a lot of y'all hear, but you don't hear, because he said a mouthpiece right here for me. He just sealed something in me that I never saw. I've read it, but I never captured the way I just read it. Yeshua sitting here telling you. Y'all tails running around here talking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We the church Jews. We the people of the Most High Yah. You ain't trash. Around here, okay, and every wicked on the earth. Every darkness you support, every unjust, unrighteous, and evil and wicked that land on this earth. But yet you're going to pull up. I'm Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm Jacob's seed. I'm the 12 tribes. We the king. We the leader. We the ruler. What is it saying right here? Come on, tell them again, Yeshua. John chapter 8, verse 37. I know that ye are Abraham's seed. I tried to explain to you all years ago. Abraham's seed in the flesh is not Abraham's seed in the spirit. You can go to Matthew chapter 1 and see all the ones that comes down as the spiritual seed. Now, he says, I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place in you. You know why? Heavens didn't give it to him. Y'all did not assign Satan's seed the word. Yeshua sitting here letting them know the word have no place in you. But yet you on all these devil platform preaching and teaching the mass. That's because they are the serpent seed, people. You think because they on here saying, yeah, we the people, we the this, we the that, we the this, and it all day and night. They're doing it for subscribers and likes. They're chasing the dollar. They're not chasing, teaching your tales. They ain't trying to study in the spirit realm. The spirit realm ain't trying to study with them. That's why they give you message regarding the world, to keep you lost. So then he said, I speak that which I have seen with my father. Wait a minute, Yeshua. I have an issue. Wait a minute, Yeshua. You mean to tell me you're going to do it again? You done separate yourself from your father. Why is it these people don't get that? Why is it they can't separate you from the father and the father from you, and separate the son as Yeshua Hamashiach, which is Yah's power? Why can't they separate you and then put you back together? Deborah, what did he say? My word has no place in them, Deborah. That's why. How about that? How about that? Now I can salute that bad boy, because that is so true. Verse 38, I speak that which I have seen with my father. See, he's telling you, If I'm the Father, what is this I've seen with my Father? And ye do that which ye have seen with your Father. Your Father. You see that? Your Father. Kind of messed up, ain't it? Something to think about, ain't it? At least it should be, because I'm a prophet in the wilderness, and that's give me something to always hold on to. Because see, I talk, but I talk from the inner man where the spirit reside, the ruach reside, more so than anything. But when this book speaketh it, and I'm able to break it down and get it in the spirit realm, then I can present it that way from the way I already felt it. You see? Okay. So here we are in Luke chapter 8, verse 11. And this is the last verse. This is the last chapter. Luke chapter 8, verse 11 through 15. But you all, that's something you all should have put down. Highlight John chapter 8, verse 37, 30 through 38. And Luke chapter 8 and verse 11. In Luke chapter 8 and verse 11, and it reads, Luke chapter 8 and verse 11. Now, the parables is this: the seed is the word of Yah. Do y'all see that? The seed is the word of Yah. A lot of y'all still won't get it. I can tell you that right now. Here it is the parable regarding the seeds, okay, and the mystery. Let me go to verse 10, and I think I'm gonna cover this here pretty quick. Luke chapter 8 and verse 10. Luke chapter 8 and verse 10. And he said, unto you it is given. Ooh, I like that word, given. That's a characteristic of who Yah has always been from beginning to the end. He give and gave from one end to the other. Okay. And Luke chapter 8, verse 10. And he said, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of Yah. To who? He was telling this to the disciples. See, a lot of y'all don't understand. Everybody ain't given the mystery. You can't go around here and just assume that you know from A to Z because you say you know it. So you see people on these platforms, this is how they portray in their lives. They know A from Z. Baby. You can't break not none of these verses down in the spiritual realm. When you're able to break it down in the natural and in the spirit, then you got it. But if you can't just break this word down only in the natural, you're feeding only the natural flesh, the carnal mind. That's all you feed. The carnal mind. Okay? Carnal words. Because this is a book of instructions and directions. Words of instructions and directions. Yah is the word. Now notice how he break this down. Luke chapter 10. Luke chapter 8, verse 10. And he said, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of Yah. See, a lot of y'all think you can just pull up and I got it and I know it. No, baby, it's always been a mystery. Revelation told you that in 10. It's always been a mystery. Is it clearly seen? No, it isn't. It's clearly seen by those that it has been given unto, but it's not clearly seen by those who are of the flesh, who are of the serpent seed, who are of the darkness. Why should it? Why should fornication mean something to those who's in the dark? Satan seed. Why should they abide by adultery? Why should they abide by fornication? Why should they abide by a spiritual marriage which is equally yoked? Why should they abide by it? So what you have to do, slice that bad boy in half, put one side to the other, one side to the left, and put that other one to the right, and you'll come out on top every time. If you always slice all this mess up and separate it in twos, putting one on one side and one on the other, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. So here in Luke chapter 8 and verse 10, he said unto you, it is given. Oh, it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of Yah. He's telling the disciples, it has been given to you to know the mystery of the kingdom of Yah. But to the others in parables, that seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand. Okay. Verse 11. Now the parables is this. The seed is the word. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The seed is the word. But I thought this book was the word. What did the Bible say? This is the word of Yah. This is the word of Yah. It is impossible for this book to be the word of Yah. Now, understand, this book did not even exist during the time of the disciples. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, this book, the King James book, it did not exist. This is the only book we run around here talking about is the word. And they beat people across the head with it like they know that they know. But that's for people who are born of the flesh. These are the people who are living the darkness. These are the people who are the Satan seeds. They go around here trying to teach and preach to their people to keep them deceived, to keep them in darkness, to keep them representing the serpent and messing up you at the same time because you're running behind them. Okay, so verse 11 says, now the parables is this. The seed is the word of Yah. Those by the wayside are they that heard, then cometh the devil and take away the word out of their heart, lest they should believe and be saved. So the word as Yah has it, that is true. You know what he said? He said in Romans chapter 1, he said, Deborah, not to me. Let's go there. Romans chapter 1. That is so true. Let me tell you what he said. Let y'all hear what he said. Romans chapter 1. Listen to this here, y'all. Just listen to this here. Watch what he says. In Romans chapter 1 and verse 17. In Romans chapter 1, verse 17. For therein is the righteousness of Yah revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. For verse 18, for the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against, is revealed, no, verse 18. This is Romans chapter 1 and verse 18. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodly and unrighteous men. Now watch this here. Watch this here. Who holds the truth in unrighteousness. Verse 19. Because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them. For Yah has shown it unto them. It's already manifested in them. So watch this here. So when you get to Luke chapter 8, this is what he's breaking down to the disciples. And this is what he says. Verse what he's in verse 12. By those by the wayside are they that heard, then cometh the devil and take away the word out of their hearts, lest they shall believe and be saved. Verse 13. They on the rock, wait a minute, they on the rock are they which when they heard received the word, those that fell on the rock. These are seeds that fell on the rock. Received the word with joy, and these have no root, which for a while believed, and in time of temptation fell away. Now he's speaking of those that's on the rock. those that the seeds fell on the rock. Okay. Verse 14, and that which fell among thorns are they which, when they had heard, go forth and are choked with the cares of riches. That's what a lot of people don't understand. What they have, what they got, they so caught up in it, they don't even know that's their ticket to the lake of hell, because they hold so firm, so tight, and so wicked and so evil toward it, because they think that's their whole world. A lot of people think that's their ticket to the kingdom. But verse 14, and that which fell among thorns are they which, when they had heard, go forth and are choked with cares and riches and pleasures of this life, and being no fruit, and bringing no fruit to perfection. Verse 15, but that on the good ground are they which in an honest and good heart have heard the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit with patience. So, all of these, the seed, he used the seed to represent those who are lost and those who are the righteous seed. Because the thorns, the one that when the sun came out and what was it? They fell to the side. Then those that fell by the wayside, those that was on rocks, and those that was on thorns. Those are people, real live people. He's setting this parable up for you. He's telling you this is how heaven's orchestrated. They are listed in the Lamb Book of Life. They are listed, not in life. The Lamb, I mean, not the Lamb Book of Life. The life, I mean, the books to the lake of hell, the lake of fire, and the ones that was rooted on good ground, they go to the Lamb Book of Life. These are, he's calling them the seed, just as he told Satan in the garden, your seed and my seed, your seed and my seed. And just because they came down here hearing the word, don't mean the word chose them. They want no part in it, and the word don't want no part in them. They both go their own way, in which they were brought to the earth that way, flesh or spirit, seed of the serpent, seed of the woman, which is the spiritual seed, born for the night, I mean, for the darkness, or born for the light. Believe it or not, we ourselves can kind of measure which side we are really on to determine where we stand right now. Are you of the light, or are you of the darkness? Are you born of the flesh, or are you born of the spirit? Do you hold the serpent seed, or are you a part of the spirit seed that fell on good soil? Which seed are you? Who are you? That should be something nobody on this earth should be able to answer outside of you. Don't ever, now I'm going to say don't ever, it's too late for that. Try searching to see who's in control of you. Is it your spirit, or is it your flesh? So, which way did you come? Born of the flesh or born of the spirit? When you are born of the spirit, it does not make you perfect in any way, shape, or fashion. It doesn't put you where you sinless, or you holding all this, and you know how to do this, you know how to do this, and you do it like this, and you do no. Born of the spirit is what heaven has assigned you to. Born of the flesh is what heaven has assigned you to, because he knew who you are from the inside out and the outside in, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. So we can fool any and everybody the rest of our lives. And we can continue, because we work very hard trying to make our children think that we're all that and some, but they don't put the effort to even let you think that they are all that. You are all that and some to them. You see? Husband think his wife is all that and some. Wife think her husband is all that and some. Have you ever thought about seeing really which side you on in all this? Have anybody ever thought? No, they haven't. So I can truly understand when he says finished. I mean, you better slow it down, baby. It's finished. Stand on any mountain. It's finished. It's over. So it's really about us measuring ourselves, seeking within ourselves to see in these end days which side are we really on? Which side are we on? What Moses asked Israel, who's on your side? And whoever said they wasn't on your side, he told Aaron and the Levites to pull their swords, draw your swords. And they took out and killed everybody in Israel that was not on your side. Yes, they did, yeah. Yes, they did. Now, what are you talking about? This is Israel. Moses and them did this. Moses and Aaron and the Levites. They took out all the others, Israel, that was in the wilderness. They killed them because they was on the opposite side of Yah. When Yah said up, they said down. He said light, they said dark. He said righteous, they said unrighteous. So he got fierce about it. And it is said that Moses said to the Father, when you need to cool yourself down, you need to lower your anger against the Israelites. You need to repent. But we know that ain't no man spoke to my father like that. But it is said, the book really gives males all this power and authority. I don't know where they got that from. I don't know. Wicked and evil, they're fathers. Because if you really read that book, like y'all was reading it to me this morning, I was like, but Father, I read Genesis 2 and 3. I read it, Father. Yeah, I read Genesis 2 and 3. How did I miss all that? That's how I felt this morning. When the Spirit was teaching me, I was like, how did I miss all that? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I had missed it all. But what Yah is, he's a spoon feeder to his. He don't give it to us all at once. But when I saw that, I was like, I know I read that. How did I miss that? And you can see all kind of smears up in it. I'm like, how did I miss that? How did they say this and you didn't say this? How did this say that? And it shows where they lied. And I'm like, wait a minute now. He was showing that to me in Genesis chapter 2 and 3. I was all over the place with that thing. And I give him all honor and praise for being such an awesome, perfect, excellent, great teacher that he is in me. I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in today. And I hope you got something out of this message. And I hope that you also apply it to you as an individual. Don't go applying it to everybody else, y'all. It's just we ourselves needs to dig down deep within ourselves and, and see where we need uh to do the things that pleases Yah, and and turn our faces to the throne of the most high Yah. And I say unto you, I appreciate and every last one of you all in the live. And I hope that you got something out of it. And I say, I'll be back again. Shalom and shalom.